Today we'll be doing circumposing. Another name for circumposing is air layering or marcotting. Circumposing is a type of propagation that is done asexually. This means it does not use any seed. The aim is to form a next plant that looks just like the same plant while it's on the parent plant. So here I have my material. This is my garden soil. This is my gloves. This is my string. This is my plastic and this is my budding knife. Okay, when doing circumposing, you should make sure that your materials are sterilized, like your knife and your soil. One reason for this is that you don't want any disease to pass from the knife or the material to the plant. When doing circumposing, you should choose a plant that is disease-free, healthy. Normally circumposing is done on the stem of the plant. Okay, so when you're doing circumposing, you should select a pencil size thick plant, and you want to select the straightest one. So I'm going to select this one. So if you realize there are leaves right here, so because this is where I'm going to do the circumposing, I'm going to remove these leaves. So I'm just going to remove these leaves from this area because this is where growth is going to take place. So this is my budding knife. So I'm going to make a circular cut at the top above a node, and the reason for making a circular cut above a node because a bud is where normally growth take place. I'm going to make another circular cut at the bottom about 2 to 3 nodes, or it can be 4 to 6 inches. So I'm going to make the next cut right here. After I made the cut, I'm going to do an incision right here. The purpose of the incision or the slice is to help to remove the bark because you don't want to damage the plant. You don't want to damage the plant. And when you're doing circumposing, you should make sure that the knife is sharp, because if the knife is not sharp, it's going to damage the plant. So, see? It's easy to remove, and one of the reasons is because the plant is mature. See how simple. So beneath the bark is the phloem vessel, and this helps to transport food material. But also some people will call this the cambio below the bark. So I'm just going to scrape the cambio to break the flow of food, because you want to produce roots. You want growth to take place right here at the bud or right below. So roots going to come from these areas. So I'm going to scrape right here to break the flow of food. So these white thing would be the cambio. So after I scrape my cambium, I'm gonna get my plastic, and this is my plastic bag, my clear plastic bag. You can use a foil paper, but most people will use the clear bag. One reason is when you use a clear bag, you will see when the root has developed. So I'm just gonna remove this part right here. So I'm gonna make a cut right here because right here is too big and I want it to go. I don't want to damage the plant. Then I'm gonna get my string and I'm gonna tie the bottom end. So I'm tying the bottom end. The reason for tying the bottom is because when you place your medium into the clear bag, you don't want it to fall through. So that's why I'm tying it. So for your medium, you can use sawdust, kaya, garden soil, pro mix. But I'm just going to use my garden soil because it's cheaper. And you should always moist your medium. This because root take place in moist area. So I'm just gonna place the soil inside the clear bag. I'm gonna make sure it is firm. And you want to make sure that the soil is around the plant so that growth can take place. Then I'm gonna get my next piece of string and I'm gonna tie the top to prevent the soil from falling out. And I'm gonna tie it firmly because you don't want it to fall apart. So after I've done that, I'm gonna remove the excess material because I want my work to look neat. So after I remove my material, about 14 to 20 days later, I am going to check back to see if rooting has taken place.